bit and stop, then you're never going to get there. But when you keep adding, guess what? I got a little more patience. Amen. I got a little more temperance. Isn't that right?
Yes,
I got a little more now. I keep adding more information. Why wouldn't I have more? So when things come up, guess what? I'm always able to produce the fruit he calling for.
Yes, sir.
You know what killed a lot of us? When he read in Mark, that's good. I'm going to just tell him something before I get ready and let y'all go. Consider something. There are more, but I apologize. I got more to say, but one or two might not be able to bear it. But things that people ought to consider. In another gospel writer, you'll find when the Lord Jesus came by the tree, they asked him to let it stay one more year. Mm-hmm. One more year, Lord. He waited. A lot of us are sitting around here and watching, gambling. And you don't even realize your year is almost up. Mm-hmm. That year, one more season. One more season. If it doesn't produce fruit after that next season, Lord, then kill it. Every time the word is coming, it's trying to get you prepared. You don't even know when your year going to be up. Right. It's your season. You know when he's going to stop by and say, guess what? Die. Mm-hmm. He left the man of God's heart. Cursed this person that they produce nothing no more. They become unproductive. They become barren. That's a bad state to be in. These things he did naturally, he showed us speaking prayer, was to allow us to see how things will work in the spiritual for us. Right. To understand what this man desired. I desire the first fruit. Mm-hmm. I'm desiring something to be manifested. I'm looking for something. The first time it gets there, I want it. And it produced nothing. I'm hungry for it. Why you think I desire the first? I'm not going to wait for all of it to come. I want the first of it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That farmer, when he plowed, he put these things down, he waiting on the first ear of corn to come up.
That's right.
So he can eat and say, this is for my labor. Mm-hmm. And you say here, you've been hearing the word, and you don't even realize your season almost up. You're still not producing the fruit he's calling for. You've been tilled. He told us in Jeremiah the 4th chapter, break up your fallow ground, your untilled ground. Mm-hmm. You can't plant on hard, stony ground. You can't plant on a rock. You can build on a rock, but you can't plant on a rock. Mm-hmm. You got to plant in good ground. Mm-hmm. You've been fertilized and nurtured with the word. Paul said, one plant, another with water. Y'all get an increase.
Yes, sir.
I thank thee, O Father, because you hid the thing. He cursed the thing. He said, flesh and blood hadn't revealed unto you, but my Father, he blessed the thing. That's why you always gave up blessings and curses. You're sitting here because it's a privilege. He allowed and giving you something that he don't have to give you. He's allowing everyone to hear the word, and that same word going to be a testimony against you. You got decisions you got to make. How long before he come back by and you still be in that same state? Soon as something come up, you always, I always lock back in a clause and get back in defense. You're not adding then. You keep going back to something that you're supposed to be delivered from. Where's your contrary wise? You always on the defense. He showed us how to be overcomers through the word. He showed us exactly what it is he prescribed for us and what it is he's looking for to be manifested. If we don't have that, it's nobody's fault but ours. If we don't do the things he's calling for, you can't blame nobody but yourself. You ought to have love. You ought to have faith and believe in it. That what he say he going to do, he going to do it. You ought to have forgiveness one to another. You ought to have this information when the devil come and try to rumble through your mind and put things there. You got to have knowledge how to combat and combat him. Every time he came to Jesus, he had the word to combat it. What are you using? If you get with a carnal person, you keep coming back with your carnal way, none of you ever going to produce anything spiritual. He was able to produce. He was able to be an overcomer because he always reverted back to the word. He kept going back to the tree. I'm connected. When you start reacting back in the flesh, you disconnect yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Every time you operate outside the spirit, you unconnect yourself, disconnect yourself to the tree.
Yes.
You have no power. These lights, as good as they work, you unplug them, they have no power. You can talk about what these lights could do if you could plug them up. You can talk about how they shine so many times in the past. But once they disconnected, what good is that when you need light? They become no good. You can talk about the good times, what you used to do, and how you were able to do things before. But when it's needed, can you do it? Consider yourself, every one of us. Paul told Timothy, 2 Timothy 2:7, said, consider what I say, said the Lord give you understanding in all things. Y'all all right? That's good, preacher. Appreciate y'all.